أتى الذين من قبلهم من رسول إلا قالوا ساحر أو مجنون صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created all the universe with two things. One is called Zahir and one is called Batin. All the universe, and even us also, we have been created by two phenomena. One is a Zahir and one is a Batin. Zahir means the outside and the Batin means the inside. We all have been created with these two things. Everything which you see, it has two aspects. One is outside, one is inside. Like for example, if you want to buy a car, you have the car's body and you have the car's engine. And when we go and buy anything, we always look at both the aspects. For example, if the car is very beautiful, it looks very nice. But if the engine is messed up or the engine is bad, the value of the car depreciates, or if the car does not move at all. So we come to this conclusion that this car is worthless even though it looks good. And similarly, if you look, the car's engine is excellent, inside is very good, but people do look at the outside too. So everything has two aspects, the Zahir and the Batin. And the same way it applies to the human being also. The human being has a Zahir, it has a Batin also. If you want to marry somebody, you look at the Zahir, how does she looks. People look at that. And then after marrying, it turns out that she has an extremely horrible manners, and she's extremely, bad, and her akhlaq are zero. Then the divorces takes place because even though you were attracted by the outside, how it looked, how she looked, but after living with her, you saw that the inside is not conducive. So even though it doesn't matter how beautiful she looks, beautiful girls also get divorced. And the same thing happens with the boy also, with the man. If he looks very handsome, but if it's inside, after living with the man, the woman comes to this conclusion that this man is very horrible to live with, so she leaves. So in every aspect of human being, we see that there are two aspects. One is a Zahir and one is a Batin. In order for it to be complete, you need to have both the things in perfection. In order for a person to be complete, his Zahir has to be nice and his Batin also has to be good. So similarly, Islam is also composed of Zahir and Batin. The Zahir is called Islam and the Batin is called Iman. So Quran says, Inna dina inda Allah Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants the thing which He accepts is the Islam, the Zahir. That's what He looks for. And also there's something called the Iman. Like for example, if the car is beautiful, people will buy that car. But if you want to get benefit from that car, you have to have a good engine. The engine has to be very strong in order for you to get benefit from that. Otherwise, no matter how beautiful the car is, you would not be able to benefit from the car. So the same rule applies to the Islam, to the Deen. The Islam is the Zahir and the Iman is the Batin. Islam is going to make you look beautiful. You will accept, people will come to you based on how beautiful the Islam is. People will accept it. Like we are accepting the Islam, it's beautiful. But in order for you to benefit from the Islam, you need to have the Iman, the inside. Like in order for you to benefit from the car, you need to have an engine. And the engine should be such that it should be able to take you from point A to point B. And you can get benefit from this. So the same rule applies over here too, also, my dear brothers. That in the deen, you need to have both. You need to have the Islam and the Iman. Islam is our outside, the beard and the Islamic clothes, and the things which you can see, like we made the salat. This is zahir, fasting, going to Hajj, giving zakat, sadaqah, having knowledge. All of these are the things of zahir of Islam. But in order for you to benefit from this Islam, you need to have the Iman. Otherwise, this Islam will not be able to benefit you if there is no Iman. Like this car, you cannot benefit from this car if the engine is not there. You cannot benefit. The car cannot take. It looks beautiful. Come and sit in the car. It looks nice to have such a beautiful piece of machinery. But in order for you to benefit from this, you need to have the engine. The car can function. So a person can have Islam. He could be Hafiz, he could be Alim, he could look very pious also. But in order for him to benefit himself or benefit the others, he needs to have the Iman. Like the car, if it has the engine, then the car can go, you can drive the car. And the people who sit in the car, they also will benefit from this car. By sitting in this car, they will be able to go from point A to point B. They will benefit from this. Otherwise, this beautiful car cannot benefit the owner or the others. So the same thing, if we have the Islam, then the people will come close to us because of the Islam. But in order for me to benefit from my own, I can benefit myself, or the others can benefit from me, I need to have the Iman. This Iman is going to benefit me in this life and in the Akhirah. Iman, it's not that this is not going to benefit you in this life. We have to understand them, because we have this misconception that the Islam and the Deen is only for the Akhirah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he said to Utbah when he came, he said, "Ati'uni al-yawm wa'asuni fima ba'da." He said, I came with you in such a thing that in ata'tumuni, if you would listen to me, tadinu bikum al-arab wal-ajam, the Arabs and the Ajam, you will become their masters. You will become their masters. Tum sardar ban jaoge. You'll become the masters. If you accept what I tell you, Deen and Dunya, you'll get both. You will get the benefits of the Deen also, of the spirituality and the benefits, and also the Dunya also you will get it. You will get both. So Utbah went to the Darun Nadwa, to Abu Jahl and the rest, they were sitting. So they said that, Wallahi, qad wajhu taghayyara, his face has changed. So he came to Abu Jahl and the people who were sitting, Quraysh, he told them, Atu'uni al-yawm wa'asuni fima ba'da. You listen to me today, and you don't have to listen to me later on, but listen. Inna Muhammadan idha haddatha lam yakadhib. When Muhammad speaks, he doesn't lie. He's not a liar. We had given him the title of a Sadiqul Amin, the most truthful individual. As-Sadiq al-Amin, the most truthful. He's saying, what I brought to you, if you accept it, then you will become the masters of this world and also of the hereafter. And you know, when he speaks, he does not lie. He does not lie. So they did not accept him. When Rasulullah went from Makkah al-Mukarramah to Madinah al-Munawwarah, close to 150 people only accepted him. The rest they did not. They accepted him after Fatah Makkah. The whole Mecca and the whole Arabia accepted him as a prophet after Fatah Makkah. That's why the Quran said, لا يستوي منكم من أنفق من قبل الفتح وقاتل أولئك أعظم درجة من الذين أنفقوا من بعد وقاتلوا وكلا وعد الله الحسنى. Those who accepted Rasulullah before Fatah Makkah are of different caliber, and those who did not accept him, accepted him before, they are of different caliber. So this Islam which Allah has given to us, this deen which Allah has given to us, is composed of both the things. If we cannot benefit from our own deen, which means there is something lacking in us. अगर हम अपने दीन से फायदा नहीं उठा रहे हैं, कोई फायदा नहीं उठा सक रहे, तो कुछ मसला है हमारे दीन के अंदर. There is something, if we cannot get benefit from this, which means there is something lacking. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came with a package. All the khairat of dunya and all the khairat of akhirah is in this complete deen of Islam. All the this world and the hereafter. This could just be a theory. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to tell them that this is not a theory, this is something practical, He sent Sahaba, and Sahaba benefited from the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and benefited from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Allah made them the masters. Dunya also and deen, they got both. Both the things they got. So today, my dear brothers, Islam we understand. It's because it looks Quran, Hadith, Zikr, Tilawat, fasting, all of the Khurooj and everything is outside which we see. It's called Islam. The second part, which is called the Iman. And to get this Iman, first of all, we think that we have the Iman. Iman is composed of two things. Number one, Aqaid. Aqaid means the beliefs which we believe on, like we believe on Allah and His Rasul on the Day of Judgment. This is called Aqaid, beliefs. This is also used in the Quran as the Iman. Okay? The second thing is, my dear brothers, is that the nur of Iman which a person has. When this nur of Iman comes inside a person, then the first thing what happens, his life everything from inside changes. The way he looks changes, the way he talks changes, the way he thinks changes. Everything what is with him is going to change because he has Iman. Like for example, when a person, when he enters into puberty, so all of his things inside him changes. Similarly, the Iman changes an individual when it enters into the heart of an individual. So the question comes, how to get this Iman? A person will get this Iman from somebody who has the Iman. That is the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we could have got the Iman just through the books or from the Amal Salihah, then there was no need of sending the Rasul. Allah sent down Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam so that he becomes the means of getting the nur of Allah through him. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sahaba, Tabi'een. This is how you get, this is the chain to get this nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from these people. So when a person gets this nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he gets this nur from somebody who has it, then his life changes. Then all the benefits which we see, which we hear in the Quran, in the Hadith, about the benefits that we will see we are getting in our lives. Everything will change. What will happen? What are the benefits of this in this dunya? First thing, Quran says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ سَيَجْعَلُ لَهُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ وُدًّا. Allah will put your love into the hearts of the people. It's the first benefit. Second benefit, Quran says, وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Whichever field you are in, you will be elevated. Whichever field you are in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to elevate you. This is the second. The third one, Quran says, يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make way for you, and He is going to give you risk and sustenance from the avenue which you cannot even imagine. The fourth, Quran says, من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you the taste of Jannat in this dunya. All of these things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it for a person who has this nur of Allah inside his heart. He'll get both the things. Our biggest misconception is that we think we have that nur of Iman. Because if we have that nur of Iman, we can see the changes into our lives. So the Quran says, if you have this nur, you will see. What the Quran says, that وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ. As soon as you hear the name of Allah, your hearts will start trembling. Which means that the nur of Iman is affecting you. Otherwise, the Quran and Hadith will not affect you. تَقْشَعِرُّ مِنْهُ جُلُودُ الَّذِينَ يَخْشَوْنَ رَبَّهُمْ. That the Quran is going to raise your goosebumps, it will affect your whole body. This is what the Quran is saying. This is what the Quran is saying. It will change us completely. So the question comes, this Iman, how can I achieve it? Because without this Iman, when a person, the one who does not have this Iman, then the Islam will not benefit him. He will get disheartened from Islam. Our children will leave the Islam. Our wives will be affected by the outside environment. No matter how much you try to pull them into the Islam, they will run away. Then you would have to resort to different tactics in order for them to stay in Islam. But it's only a matter of time that they will leave. Then either they will become a cultural Muslims, or slowly they will forsake the Islam. Slowly. This thing will come out of their lives. And when on the other hand, when a person has the Iman, and when he has this Iman inside him, then what will happen? He will change the others. Wherever he comes, that environment of that area will change because of him. His life will attract the others. His life will make such people would wonder, why is he like this? His thinking will be different. His life will be different. All of these things will, then this will attract the others. And the people will see their thing. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was called a Sadiqul Ameen. His life attracted the others. So the first thing what the Iman does, it affects an individual inside his heart. He changes himself. Then he does not fight, he does not need to fight with his own bad habits. Like today, for example, if a person, people say, oh brother, I have this habit of lying. Or I have this habit of not controlling my gaze. I have this habit of, cursing. I have this habit that I cannot control my anger. I have this habit of backbiting. I have these habits. I'm trying to control them. Controlling this habit, actually, you cannot control these habits. It is with a lot of, you can control it for some time. These bad habits, their example is It's like, for example, when you teach the animals, when you teach the animals how to, for example, you teach the monkey how to dance, teach the lion how to go through the hoops. This is you're training them. But this is not the way they are. You're just training them to be like that. By nature, they are not like that. You're just training them. Iman transforms an individual. It changes the individual from inside. From selfishness, it turns him into a selfless individual. I'll give you an example. Imagine the selfishness of an individual that he is burying his own daughter alive. Hazrat Umar is burying his own daughter alive. Inside the famous story, he took his own daughter and then he buried her inside the ground. This is how he was. The selfishness to that extent. And the Iman enters inside him. So he's walking on the streets of Medina Munawwara. He hears a baby crying. So he goes to the mother and says, "Why don't you stop him from crying?" So she says that, we are trying to make him stop drinking milk because if he eats, we will get the stipend from the government. So no, let him eat. And he came in the masjid and he cried in the Fajr Salat. After the Fajr Salat, he said that people said, "Why are you crying so much?" He said that, "I don't know how many babies must be crying because of me. That I made this law. If he is drinking milk, he will not get the stipend. But if he eats, we will give him the stipend. So I do not know how many mothers must be stopping their children from drinking their milk so they can get the stipend." And he changed the law. This selfishness changed to this selflessness. What changed him? Iman transforms an individual, my dear brothers. It changes a person from inside. Then you do not have to lecture him to be a nice person. You don't have to lecture your children to be good. You don't have to lecture your wife that be nice to me. Or your wife does not need to tell you that you have no control of your anger. You have no control on yourself, how you are treating me. All of these things will not come because this transforms an individual. Rasulullah was not doing all the training in the Masjid of Rasulullah. In our houses, we constantly tell our kids, "Don't do this, don't do that." We constantly nag them. Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu says, "خدمت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم 10 سنين." I was doing the khidmat of Rasulullah for 10 years. ما ضربني ولا نهرني ولا شتمني ولا زجرني. Rasulullah did not hit me, he did not curse me, he did not shout at me, he did not, he didn't do anything to me. So how come the Sahaba are changed like this? What changed them? Even though Rasulullah is not doing the training the way we are doing the training to our kids. What changed them? My dear brothers, this was that Iman which Rasulullah gave it to the Sahaba. That transforms those individuals. That same Iman, if we have it, it will transform us first. Then it will transform our kids. It will transform our children. This will transform our wives. That you would not need to do any youth programs or ladies programs. Just by being in the house with you, your families will change. Your kids, you don't have to do, let's make a youth program for the kids to be, pious. You don't need to do all of these things. Just by being in your company, they will change. They will become better Muslims. If I have that which I could transfer to my kids. to my wife, to my family. Otherwise, if I just teach them Islam, if I force on them Islam, they will rebel from Islam. They will say, okay, now I'm 18, I got nothing to do with you. So the father is paying him money, come in the masjid, stay in the environment of the masjid, at least thinking, become hafiz, that at least he will stay in Islam. These are all outward things. These are all outward things. This cannot retain an individual. Only thing which will retain an individual is when he has that nur of iman inside his heart. Then forget about retaining. He is going to attract the others. His life will attract the others to Islam. They say, why is he like this? Because the life of Rasulullah is such, the life of Rasulullah is a magnet. It attracts. Human beings are like iron. Life of Rasulullah is like a magnet. So if the more powerful magnet you become, the more it will attract the iron. It will attract. People come close. Who is this man? We have one kid, he comes to our masjid over there in Chicago. He works in some airline. So the people around him, they are always amazed by him. What kind of a man is this? They talk. They say, every day the people, they leave the work, they just want to stay with him and they listen to him what he has to say. It attracts. The more you have the life of Rasulullah, it will attract the others. Your wife will be your fan, your kids will be your fan, your family will become your fan, your colleagues will become your fan, your partners will become your fan. Everybody will, because the life of Rasulullah is so powerful, it will attract the people like magnets towards you. This is what happens when that person has the iman. Otherwise, if he doesn't have it, it will rebel. It will repel. The kids will repel from the father. The wife will repel from the husband, or the husband will repel from the father, and the brothers and sisters will repel, and the family will repel with each other, and the people in the masjid will repel from each other. In one community, people will repel from each other, because if there is no iman, it cannot join them. That's the reason Quran says, لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم ولكن الله ألف بينهم. Allah is the one, the nur of iman, which will attract everybody towards Allah. Because you become selfless. You don't become selfish. You become selfless, so you have no desire to get any benefit from any individual. खुदगर्जी खत्म हो जाती है फिर इंसान के अंदर से. When he is young, I want to take care of my kids. When I become old, he's going to take care of me. No. This does not become the motto of your life. I'm doing it because Allah has told me to take care of it. Either He takes care of me, He doesn't take care of me. That's between Him and Allah. I'm doing because Allah is my Razzaq. And Allah is the one who will take care of me, not my kids. Where is my yaqeen? I mean, the kids will take care, or Allah will take care. Allah take care karta. Allah is the one who takes care. Not the people or the individuals or the wife or the community or the people. No. Don't look at the makhluk to fulfill your needs. I mean, the makhluk will take care. Why a person is having logon se shikayat hai? Why people have complained about the others? Because their yaqeen is on the creation. My kid is not doing this to me. My son is not doing this to me. My wife is not doing this to me. Because his belief is on these things. His belief, they have to. And it's not that I'm not saying that they should not do. They need to do. It's benefit for them actually. If they take care of their parents or their elders, it's beneficial for them actually. But for the elders, they don't have the yaqeen should not be on them. The yaqeen should be on Allah. He's the one who will take care. What do you mean? What they can do? They are makhluk. لا يملكون لأنفسهم نفعا ولا ضرا ولا يملكون موتا ولا حياة ولا نشورا. Quran says the makhluk has these 5 qualities. They cannot benefit. They cannot harm. How can my children benefit me? How can my brothers benefit me? How can my community benefit me? How can my 401k benefit me? How can my savings benefit me? How can my investment benefit me? How can these things benefit? Allah is who benefits. Quran says, لا يملكون لأنفسهم نفعا ولا ضرا ولا يملكون موتا ولا حياة ولا نشورا. They cannot give you death. They cannot give you life. And once when you are dead, they cannot resurrect you. They are makhluk. कुछ नहीं है इनके पास. They have nothing. They're just like dead meat. So my dear brothers, that's why this iman, when a person has it, these are the benefits of that. Otherwise, our only outside facade, outside facade is just outside thing, is going to attract the people, and they come and they don't see what's inside, then they will repel and rebel. That's why, how to get this iman? Get iman from somebody who has the iman. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was a dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma rzuqni imanan yubashiru qalbi wa yaqinan sadiqa. Oh Allah, give me the iman and give me the yaqeen. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this iman. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us, of course, we need to have the Islam also, because that's outside, but we need to have both the things. You need to have a body, you need to have a soul also. So the thing also, we need to have this Islam and the iman into our lives. That's why what we need to do is ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, and the objective of this talk is to realize that we need to have this thing. इसका एक एहसास पैदा हो जाए मुझे चीज़ चाहिए. We have this misconception that I already have it. If I think I have it, then what the Quran is saying that these are the signs, those signs should fit on me. If I don't, then we should worry before we die. May Allah give us the reality of this. I will make dua now. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin. اللهم ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم يا واسع المغفرة اغفر لنا. اللهم يا واسع المغفرة اغفر لنا. اللهم يا واسع المغفرة اغفر لنا. اللهم كن لنا ولا تكن علينا. اللهم ربنا تقبل توبتنا واغسل حوبتنا وأجب دعوتنا وسدد ألسنتنا. اللهم اسلل سخيمة صدورنا. اللهم طهر قلوبنا من النفاق وألسنتنا من الكذب وأعيننا من الخيانة. إنك تعلم خائنة الأعين وما تخفي الصدور. اللهم ربنا اتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا إنك على كل شيء قدير. وصلى الله سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.